There's an oft-repeated theory that people who are lost walk in circles. Not long ago, scientists tested that theory.
Each participant had no doubt in their mind that they would be able to walk a straight path.
But it was very dense, so it's not like they had major landmarks that they could go off of.
How do you feel like you did?
I feel like I did well.
Pretty good.
Pretty sure I went straight the whole time.
But the GPS told a different story.
These are your results.
Wait, what?
No way.
So you took the scenic route.
How did I not even know that I was making a circle?
Without reliable landmarks, we drift off course. This, of course, applies to us physically. It also applies to us spiritually.
And it can be really easy to ignore because you don't want to think really deeply about what is happening in your spiritual life.
The spiritual journey of aligning our will with God's will is and has been a process for all mankind. It's a challenge, but putting an effort to do so is worth it. You're not alone in your gospel or faith or life journey. Wherever it is that you find yourself, you are loved.
I don't think this experiment was to say that when you go in circles, you're never going to come back. People can come back and they can change.
After my divorce, I was really bitter at God and I wanted nothing to do with the church. But my 4-year-old son kept me reading scriptures and praying, and that kept me tied to the church. So when I was ready, I reached my hand up and I knew the Spirit was not gone. It was right there waiting for me to take its hand the whole time. And now I was able to build my testimony up from the bottom, and now I feel like it helps me progress every day. To help me deal with my bipolar, helps me deal with my husband's chronic pain and my son's struggles. The church gives me something to reach towards.
Although I still had the vices that I did, I would still go to church because every time I went to church, I would always hear what I needed to hear. That did bring that sense of peace back in my life, like my spiritual roots of just like having that comfort. We all have our own weaknesses. We all have our own conversion stories. Some people have just grown into conversion. Some people need to go through certain experiences to have that conversion. Everybody is different. Like, you know, the gospel has a tendency to take away vices that keep us from numbing uncomfortable feelings, you know, and just like sitting in that just sometimes feels like being under a magnifying glass in the sun. Like, healing can sometimes be very painful. Things don't usually go the way that I want them to, but I'm learning that I don't want things to go the way that I want them to. I want them to go the way that God wants them for my life because He knows so much better than me. I don't know what I would do without the gospel. Like, there's no way that I would have the life I have now, the joy that I have now, the peace that I have now. And all my days aren't perfect. Like, you know, I kind of went from that joy of feeling the Spirit all the time to just kind of like knowing that we can't feel joy all the time, you know, and that was kind of a hard pill to swallow, but like, you know, we're meant to be able to feel all the emotions.
I do not have the testimony that I have today because it came naturally. I had to sacrifice. I had to fast and pray. I had to pay a price. But I could just encourage every person, it is worth the sacrifice to gain that testimony, because once you discover that hope, it changes everything.
So my testimony is that one time we were going boating in kayaks or whatever they're called, until we were playing a game until one of the boats flipped and I flipped off the boat, and then I sunk under the boat and I couldn't get back up, so I tried pushing the boat and it felt super, super light. And I felt like there was angels helping me push the boat aside so I could get up.
No matter how old we are, no matter how much experience we have, like, no one is exempt from needing guidance from a higher power, someone who can see the whole forest.
What I love about Jesus Christ is it doesn't matter how many times you've sinned. It doesn't matter how many times you've made the same sin. If you continually look for him and look for him to take the burden and you repent of that, if you try to just get rid of it, he'll take it every single time.
This is a way to overcome trials, to gain hope, to have an eternal perspective, the way to build strong families, communities, and nations. Jesus Christ is the way. He stands at the head of his church.
He will surely draw near to all who draw near to him.